The following is a sponsored program paid for by Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group, RE/MAX Results. Welcome to Rochester Real Estate, featuring Robin Gwaltney from Gwaltney Group RE/MAX Results and Andy Brownell. Here's Andy Brownell on Rochester's News Talk, 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
Good morning. Welcome to Saturday Morning with Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group RE/MAX Results. And I'm Andy Brownell on News Talk 1340 KROC AM at 96.9 FM. Good morning, Robin.
Hey, good morning.
Promising to be a pretty decent weekend for us. And somebody must have been listening, or more than just somebody must have been listening. Quite a few must have been listening when you put out the call last week for anybody who has a home, who wants to sell their home on the market, to get a hold of you, because I see that some statistics you sent me show that the new listings in the Rochester area just shot up last week.
Yeah, and we actually were busy putting houses on the market all week as well, so that was good.
Yeah, some very positive developments there, particularly in the Rochester market.
Yes.
Because in addition to the new listings, you also saw a huge spike in the number of showings as well.
Yeah, isn't that awesome? So those statistics are RE/MAX listings only. You know, that's all I have access to, of course.
Sure.
But this last week, we had actually, I think it was 56, or where is it, 60 plus, up 76 showings from the same week last year.
Yeah.
So, yeah, a lot. So that just means exactly what we've been talking about and predicting. People are out there in full forces, ready to get in on this so-called spring market.
It might be a little warmer than spring, but, you know, the mood is...
Well, I don't know. It was a weird week, wasn't it? 30 degrees difference between Monday and Wednesday.
Yeah, and I getting the humidity sucked out of the air wasn't a completely bad thing either. But
no, exactly.
Yeah, that was very strange weather. But, yeah, positive developments for those who are in the housing market, that's for sure. And I know you had shared with me that you had seen some publications out there that kind of provide a little bit more ammunition for your predictions of a strong summer in the real estate market.
Yes, and these are some really good articles that I have shared on the Gwaltney Group Facebook page, too. So if anyone ever wants to kind of keep up with what's the latest regarding the real estate market, we do a really good job of posting articles on our Facebook page. So that's always there. So one that caught my eye is called Real Estate Will Lead the Economic Recovery. I think I remember talking about that a few weeks back.
Yes, you did.
And it says, according to Ivy Zellman of Zellman and Associates, housing will fare better than expected during the severe downturn. In addition, CNBC notes that mortgage demand from home buyers shows unexpectedly strong and quick recovery. The quick recovery has surpassed most forecasters. So that's all good news.
It is.
And I don't know. Go ahead.
I was going to say it seems logical to me as well because of the relative safety of real estate as an investment. That for people who are looking for a place to put their money and feel good about putting their money into something they can get a future return on, obviously a home is, to me at least, a smart way to go.
Well, and it's a very smart way to go, a smart investment. You know, we've done several shows just talking about that. But this particular article, I think, points out what we talked about a few weeks back, how much money is actually generated back into the economy every time a home sells. And this article says that the average economic impact of one home sale is $88,416.
And that translates into jobs.
Exactly. It's everybody that's involved along the way. So it says one of the big reasons why housing has the potential to be such a driving force is the significant impact that it has on the local economy. This impact is particularly strong when a newly constructed home is built and sold. According to a recent study by the National Association of Realtors, the average new home sale has the total economic impact of $88,416. So, with all the different subs, the truck drivers, the supplies, the everything. So every one of those new houses that you see being built is definitely a huge driver. And then, of course, the people that are moving into it are likely selling a house to someone else. They're doing the move up thing. So
sure,
it's all going to work just the way we had hoped it was going to. And
you were mentioning the people directly involved in the construction of the home, but I'm thinking also too the carpets that have to be used, the person who's going to buy appliances and go to the local appliance store, big box, and select their appliances, and the person who sold them the appliance who gets the paycheck and then goes out to the local restaurant.
You got it.
The ripple effects.
Yeah, it's crazy. So it's all good. All good. And one of the articles that I read that I was really intrigued by, and it's on my Facebook page as well, is the shocking news in the unemployment report. Okay, so it says the May U.S. jobless rate fell to 13.3%, and employers add 2.5 million jobs, blowing Wall Street expectations out of the water. Economists had forecast a loss of 8.3 million jobs and 19.5% unemployment rate. So, the May gain was by far the biggest one-month job surge in the history of the U.S. since 1939.
Great, yeah. And I know a lot of economists did predict this, but there are others who were not predicting it, obviously. That, how steep the fall was when the pandemic hit would likely be followed by a very steep rise. And you've referred to that many times as the V recovery. Right.
And a lot of times we were hearing, contrary to that, to my belief, we were hearing from some economists that it would be more like a U, with a longer bottom or a bigger bottom. But fortunately, it is turning out to be very much a strong V recovery. So
yeah, I'm looking forward to it as well. I know the local establishments who are finally able to open their doors and put people inside and serve them meals. They've had a good week too. I know it's going to probably be a little bit of time as people get more and more confident about going to those places, but I know they're certainly super happy to see it finally happen. I know I am.
Oh my gosh, me too. I was out and about, was it yesterday, I think, running some errands, and it sure doesn't feel like people are lacking any confidence because everywhere I went was packed. I didn't go to the mall, but I drove past the mall, and it was packed.
Oh, is that right?
Packed.
I've seen the parking lots of some of the local restaurants have had really... the parking lots have been full, and obviously the people aren't outside then either because I don't see them unless they're on the back of the building, so they have to be someplace. So,
yeah. I'm happy to hear it, happy to see it. So, definitely ready for it.
So the strong addition of new listings last week and the big surge in the showings of homes, that's another telltale sign that folks are feeling pretty good about getting out there and making business happen.
Yes, absolutely. And I'm looking at some more of the RE/MAX stats, and I know that showings in the Twin Cities area were down a little bit, and I think just because of all the commotion that was going on in the cities. But it looks like after last week, the RE/MAX total pendings company-wide is pretty much neck and neck with where we were last year. Last year at this time, we were at 3,055 pending deals, and this year, 3,050.
Wow. Right on the mark.
So,
okay.
Yeah, so life is getting back to normal.
I'll tell you what.
Hallelujah.
We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come right back with more Robin Gwaltney with Gwaltney Group RE/MAX results right here on News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
We'll be right back with Robin Gwaltney and Andy Brownell on Rochester Real Estate. This is News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96.9 FM. Welcome back to Rochester Real Estate with Robin Gwaltney from Gwaltney Group RE/MAX Results and Andy Brownell on Rochester's News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
Good morning and welcome back. Andy Brownell with Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group RE/MAX Results this Saturday morning. I guess, Robin, when I try to see what's happening out there in the real estate market, I know you really have a perspective that nobody else has because of all your different connections in the community and seeing and actually viewing the homes and talking to the people who are both selling and buying. Are we still seeing the same price range be the hot range, or is it moving higher with these low interest rates?
I feel like it's moving higher. Yeah, I feel like some of those people who want to do that, sell my current home because I know I'm going to get top dollar for it and move up to the next one because I know I'm going to get the lowest interest rate that I'm probably going to get in the next, several years, are going for it.
So this is the time to make that move.
And I think now that these parents aren't busy homeschooling, that's played a part in it too, because they're freed up a little bit to go out and look at houses.
All right, so the folks who are in the, I don't know what I would call it, the beginner or first home level or mid-range, and they're moving up. What are they moving up to as far as the price range is concerned?
Well, I mean, I have a lot of clients that are selling their home for the $250 to $350 range, and they're moving up to the $450 to $650 range.
Oh, fantastic! Mm-hmm. And the beauty of that is they've got that built-in monster down payment from the equity of the first home.
Correct.
So they end up likely keeping a house payment that's not a heck of a lot bigger than what they were having before for.
Especially depending on when the last time they refinanced was and what their interest rate currently is set at on their current home.
Oh, yeah. I wonder how many people are sitting out there that haven't taken a look at that aspect of it as well.
And if they are and they're listening, they better take a look because, it definitely is worth refinancing if you can drop by a percentage point or more.
Have you seen, particularly with the seasonal part of what you deal with, the residents who come into the community every year, that they were not necessarily buying into a house right away? They were kind of waiting on the sidelines, and
some of them ended up signing leases because they were unable to come and personally buy the house in person. They didn't want to get on a plane. They didn't want to fly here.
Yeah.
Several of them did come, especially ones that were within driving distance. And there were some that bought homes virtually, but that's not for everyone. So some of them did end up signing leases, and I'm sure those leases, even if they intend on them being 1 year, might very well turn into 4-year leases. And I'm sad for those people because they're missing out on creating that equity that they could have and still can if they decide to buy when that lease runs up.
I imagine that's going to be kind of part of the story here, that folks put their house into the rental market and made a commitment for a period of time, and that might also end up being that you could be busier in the fall if it was a 6-month lease or something like that.
Yeah, well, I think we'll be busier in the fall regardless because, there's nothing that signifies the rates are going to go up anytime soon. And we still have low inventory. So we have very many qualified buyers who are out there chomping at the bit to buy. So I feel like we're going to continue to stay busy.
And that chomping at the bit, I wonder if folks who are on the fence right now realize that.
Yeah, as far as whether or not they should sell?
Yeah.
Yeah, and when they say, well, if I sell, if things are selling for top dollar and I sell my house now for top dollar, that means I'm going to pay top dollar. And that's not necessarily the truth, because there is still some room for negotiation in that higher price range, so much more than there is in that $200,000 to $300,000 price range.
Based upon demand, right? Because you have the majority
Correct.
of the demand at that lower price range.
And then bring in the fact that their rate's going to be lower. It's still going to be the best time to make that move up if it's something that is in the plan.
Okay, so folks who are going along with the discussion we're having right now, and they're in that house that's $250,000, but they're in a position where they could upgrade, and they would benefit from an upgrade and go to that higher tiered home. What kind of things can they expect out of that higher tiered home compared to the one they're currently in? That's in that $300,000 range.
Well, typically it's more square footage. People say we need more space. We're having a second child, a third child, a fourth child, or, again, after all this shelter in time that we all spent at home, people were able to focus on what I really wish I had in my home that I don't.
Sure.
So, that has played a big part.
Bigger kitchen, bigger bathrooms, I imagine.
Right, because, think about it. The restaurants were closed, so everybody did a whole lot more cooking. So the fact that they had a really small amount of counter space in the past wasn't as big of an issue when they were eating out 3 nights a week and ordering in another night or two and cooking, 1 or 2 nights, versus now we're home cooking all the time, and we realize exactly what we're dealing with in our kitchen, and we want more.
I imagine, too, even somebody my age where the kids have left the nest, that the next stage of this is you'd want more space so when they do come home to visit and hopefully bring along little ones with them, that you'd have room for that as well.
Exactly. And, everybody has different needs when it comes to a home, which is awesome, because that makes, there's something out there for everybody, right?
Right. In this particular market, we do have that entire range, don't we?
Yes.
Well, fantastic. Go ahead, Robin.
I'm pretty sure that no matter what it is you're looking for, we can find it. If it's not listed right now, as of today, it will be coming down the pipe.
And we'll continue talking. We have to take a really quick break here, and we'll be back with more Robin Gwaltney Group RE/MAX results on News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
We'll be right back with Robin Gwaltney and Andy Brownell on Rochester Real Estate. This is News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM. Welcome back to Rochester Real Estate with Robin Gwaltney from Gwaltney Group RE/MAX Results and Andy Brownell on Rochester's News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
Welcome back. Andy Brownell with Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group RE/MAX Results here at News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM. Robin, I noticed that on your website you have a number of townhomes, some brand new, some under construction, that you're listing for sale on the market. I always wondered. I know a lot of folks that are doing it too. I know personally folks who have moved into the townhome setting. What are they finding attractive about living in the townhomes?
Well, I think the townhomes appeal to a couple of different sectors of the market. The young professionals, a lot of times the residents, young single nurses or doctors that are going to be spending a lot of time at the hospital and don't want to come home and have to mow the lawn or shovel the snow, or don't really want to have to worry about the maintenance of the house, Yeah,
that is attractive.
Yeah, so it's good for that. And then I also find that a lot of people who have been taking care of their house for a lot of years, and they're retired now, and maybe they're going to travel, more, or go to Arizona for a month or two, or Florida for a month or two, and they want to be able to just lock up and leave and not worry about anything. Townhomes serve that purpose very well, too.
And from what I can see from the listings you have, you're not really sacrificing much as far as square footage is concerned. A lot of these townhomes have a lot of room.
Yeah, those new ones out in Northeast, those old Essex estates, those are going to be beautiful. The two that are currently standing, one is just about finished and the other one is not far behind. I mean, it's probably within a month of completion. Those two are almost 1,600 square feet on the main, and then they have a lower level with a big family room, 2 bedrooms and a bathroom, additional space available. So very, like you say, you're not giving up square footage, you're just changing your lifestyle. And really that's what real estate is about, is how does a person live? What fits your lifestyle?
Sure. How are you going to be happy where you live? And these are the Essex ones are the ones that are out by the park, right? Essex Park, and then
yes,
coming behind where the ball fields are.
And the first 2 are built, and there's going to be 42 more. So there will be 44 townhomes out there altogether. And we have at least 3, maybe 4 different floor plans to choose from. We're going to have slab on grade. We're going to have walkout lower levels. So there's something for everybody. And those are in the high 3s, depending on what you do. If you finish the entire basement and you put in a lot of extras, you could be in the, 420s, 430s. I'm not sure. But anyway, there's, like I say, it's a really nice place. You feel like you're out in the middle of nowhere, even though you're 5 minutes to anything. But it's very private, lots of trees, and, it's on the backside of Essex Park. So it's a beautiful setting. And you also had some listed that were probably quite a bit more affordable if somebody wasn't looking to go quite that high. Yeah, we have some new ones going up over in Weatherstone, which is northwest, kind of behind 55th Street and 50th Avenue, I think it is. Anyway, it's Sapala Court. We have a new 8-plex. Of the 8 units, 5 have been sold, but there are 3 remaining, and those are $219,900, brand new construction. Very, very nice. Walk out your back door, and you can get on the Douglas Trail, so it's a great location. And then we have lots for 2 more 6-plexes that will go in as soon as this first 8-plex is sold out. We'll start the next 6-plex. So, yeah, and those are also going to be in that very affordable price range, but yet very nice finishes, nice amenities. So certainly something to check out if you're looking for a townhome.
All right. Any other things happening out there that you have that people might be interested in calling you up or going to see?
We've got some open houses today out in Northeast. We've got one out on a couple of really nice 2-stories, one on Oakview, and one on Stone Point Drive. And those are both in the, I think one's 460, one's 470. So those are 2 really nice family homes that should sell soon. So they're still available as of today. So if you want to go check those out, those are open. I think there's quite a few open houses today, and there's a lot of people out and about. So I like to see that. The traffic is really increasing at the open houses. Nice for the sellers.
And the weather is supposed to be just fantastic through the weekend.
Perfect day to buy, for perfect weather to buy a house.
Yep. See how it is on a beautiful summer afternoon in southern Minnesota. That's for sure. It's nice to hear the optimism and also see the statistics we talked about earlier that show, back up that optimism about what's happening with the economy and how important the real estate market is to that economy. It's such a driver for so many other activities.
Absolutely.
So you stay busy, Robin. We enjoy talking to you. And if somebody heard something about the townhomes or the other ones that are up for open houses, or
they have a house that they would like to get listed.
Most importantly, if you have a house that you'd like to put on the market, how do they get a hold of you, Robin Gwaltney, and the Gwaltney team?
All right. Well, you can certainly call me on my cell phone anytime, and that number is 507-259-4926. And feel free to visit our website at gwaltneygroup.com to learn more about us.
All right. Thank you again, Robin, and we'll speak with you next Saturday as well.
Sounds great. Thanks so much.
Yeah, you bet. Have a great afternoon. Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group RE/MAX Results. I'm Andy Brownell on Newstalk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM.